It's time for some midweek action. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock. Hello, welcome to another preview. A Tuesday Premier League game. I can't quite remember. I'm sure it's more recent than you would be led to believe. But either way, it's a midweek game. Monday game's usually a bit stinky, but it's a Tuesday evening game, and this time we come up against Bournemouth. Bournemouth, 7th place. Same games played, half the goal difference, but just 3 points the difference. And it's a little bit, it's one of those ones where, considering the form that we're on at the moment, considering the unpredictability that we're showing at the moment, and some people would argue that we are entirely predictable because that we have more or less regressed to our past selves of the last couple of months, last couple of years or so, and we're showing the same old sort of issues. The same cracks are beginning to show. The polyfiller is beginning to wear off, and are we going to move further down, or are we going to, as the thumbnail indicates, are we going to keep up with the people at the top? Nottingham Forest 4 points clear, same games played. Same with Arsenal, 4 points clear, and Liverpool at the top with a game less played and 10 points clear. If you consider, before Christmas, we were in the run-in thinking, happy days. We're not going to wish on it too much, but there may well be a case that Chelsea could finish in first place or very close to come the turn of the year, and now sitting in 4th place, just 1 point clear of 5th place, 2 points clear of 6th place, and 3 points clear of our opponents in this game. Bournemouth, a team that we have beaten already this season, 14th of September. Christopher Nkunku, sorry, I was going to say Nicholas Nkunku. Christopher Nkunku, a player who, varies in opinion at this point. I think a lot of people are leaning more towards the idea that his time at the club is certainly coming to an end rather than, just beginning. The same goes for, completely off topic, but Renato Vega, a player that I am a massive, massive fan of. I think he's got all the qualities to be a very, very good squad player and potentially one for the future. And it seems as though he's ready to jump ship already, having only been here one half of a season, joining at the beginning of this season. He's ready to go to Dortmund on a permanent or leave on a permanent. Whether or not there's any, solid truth to these rumours. Obviously, Fabrizio has reported on it and so on. I'm disappointed, I must say. Obviously, there's that clip of him doing the rounds of him saying how much of an honour it is to wear the badge and play for Chelsea and the opportunities they're giving him and getting international level appearances at the age of just 21 when fucking no one had ever heard of him before joining the club. But, he's ready to move on already. It's disappointing. It really is. So he will not be in my starting 11 for this game. But yeah, a 1-0 win against Bournemouth back at the very beginning of the season. Fast forward now, and the form of ours is much worse than the form of Bournemouth. And if we look at the away form versus our home form, it's pretty even. In fact, it is completely even. 3 wins each, a loss each, and a draw each. Our home record versus their away record. We have lost our most recent game. They have drawn their most recent game away from home against Fulham. So it's a bit of a toss-up in regards to where this might go. Obviously, Chelsea have won 5 of our last 6 matches against Bournemouth in all competitions. So history would argue that this is certainly one for Chelsea to take, but if you look further back, it was always horrible playing against Bournemouth, but obviously that's not really something that you can really pay too much into with regards to this. Obviously, a very, very unpredictable Chelsea side these days, as we have been, as I said at the beginning of the video, for quite some time now. I did feel like we were making inroads and making, progress into the right direction. And I don't want to turn into one of those negative sort of Nancy's, but it's worrying times the way that we're playing at the moment. Obviously, a fantastic win against Morecambe on Saturday, and whether or not we can bounce back from that, as in like on top of that into this game, it remains to be seen. 10th best home record in the league, and Bournemouth's away record is the 6th best in the league. 4 wins, 3 draws, 3 losses, and 15 points from 30. It is a fairly good record, all things considered. Our home record, 4 wins, 3 draws, and 2 losses for 15 points in 9 games. So it's fairly even. It's going to be a tight game, I think. I don't think it's actually going to be an easy game at all, to be completely honest with you. I will move over to the starting 11. I've just got out the shower, hence my fucking hair is playing up. But we'll move over. I will have to just very quickly, bear with me. Where's the fucking thing? There it is. Hello. Let's go into the starting 11. And of course, it's a little bit all over the place these days, because we do have the return of, obviously Sanchez in goal, but we do have the return of one Reece James, who I do think he's 100% fit and he's 100% ready to go. He can play the full 90 according to Enzo Maresca, although he does say he would like to sort of wean him back in. But makes it obvious. Well, not obvious. It seems as though he likes to play James from the get-go, or injured players making returns from the get-go, rather than from the 45th to the 90th, if that makes sense. On the other side, Cucurella really doesn't, goes without saying. Colwill, and then, although Tosin, which I've been corrected many times, it's not Tosin, it might be, my hair is doing my head in. I need a haircut badly. I'm going to give it to Achimpong. It might be. I can't recall if he said it in the press conference that he'd be starting, but I could see it happening if it hasn't been said already. It's just something in the air. Elsewhere, it's practically the same. Caicedo and Enzo, I don't see Lavia starting. I see Palmer in front of them, with Jackson up top, Sancho on the left, and Neto on the right. I don't see Madueke, who was taken ill a couple of days ago. He is now back. He's 100% fit, but again, I don't see him getting the start over Neto, who, of course, we know is 100% fit and ready to go on a moment's notice these days. So let me know your predictions for the starting 11. And before we get into the predictions, a new channel. youtube.com/@HarryDoes100. A new channel on the way, the 26th of January, 2025. Just under 2 weeks to go. Please do subscribe. The link is in the description. Scan the QR code if you're watching on a TV for whatever reason. We are very close to 100 subscribers. Been asking for 10,000 for so long. But please do subscribe. I can assure you, it's going to be a fun experience. I'm not going to say too much more. Closer to the time, I would imagine it's going to become a bit clearer what the channel's about. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's already very much in production and ready to go on the day. But yeah, thank you for subscribing if you haven't done so already. Really do appreciate it. With that said, predictions-wise, and I do see it being a little bit of a hairy one. Do I see Chelsea winning? Not clear-cut in any way, shape, or form. I do think it'll be a draw. I think Bournemouth are showing really, really good sort of character at the moment. I think, 3 wins away from home on the bounce, including against Ipswich, who we lost. They beat Manchester United 3-0, of which we can't seem to get regular results against them by any stretch of the imagination. And a draw against Fulham, another team that we dropped points against. So recently, we lost against them, in fact, at home in our most recent home game. So I think it's going to be very, very tight. I think that I hope we're not, but I do predict that we're going to still be a bit shaky in front of goal and in the build-up and all that sort of shit. You know, it's the same old story. We're beating the same old drum with what the issues are these days. We're still trying to make head or tail of the issues, specifically as to why it's gone to shit so quickly. Has Enzo Maresca been found out? I think it could be a good shout to argue that is the case. But my prediction, either 1-1 or 2-2. I don't see it being goalless, but I don't see Chelsea getting the win. I fucking hope we do, though. And I, as the thumbnail in the title says, I hope we can keep up with those above, rather than allowing Bournemouth to level up on points against us. Should we win, we will stay in fourth, but we will be a point behind Nottingham Forest. They have Liverpool in their next game. Arsenal have Tottenham. So it's a perfect time for us to register points in the build up to what is very much the final stretch. 18 games to go, it's crunch time now. We really need to pull our finger out if we want to stand any chance of continuing to compete for top 4, top 3, maybe even go for that second place. But I think first place is all said. And I know there's still so long to go, but I don't see Liverpool slipping up. Excuse the pun. With that said, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. Again, please do subscribe. The link to my new channel is in the description. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there for the stream, for the watch along tomorrow, half an hour before kickoff. I'll be live and, of course, bringing you all the coverage for the game. With that said, my name is Harry. I'm a Chelsea. And peace.